See, breakfast is at 8, sessions start at 9.
So we get behind.
Okay. And we
You
had,
can drive like old people.
if I was driving, I would.
I don't know, I'll make up for it.
Okay, this thing though, she said we have to remember to give to them.
Oh, okay.
When we get there. Your registration, you scan it and then they just go. Are you registered, Carol? You've already had your training though, right?
You already have.
What, for this year?
For what?
You know, the regional council that you sent.
Get it, get it trained. No, I know, but there's how the training.
This is you only need 4 hours of training.
Right,
Here.
I don't have 4 hours carried over this year. I did last year's training.
Okay, I thought you did, okay. So,
My training I did in November.
okay, so if you want to register for this, it's in Batavia on the 16th.
I looked at the agenda and I didn't find it.
Okay, all right. There's another one
This
in the
is
fall.
Genesee Finger Lakes Regional
Yeah,
Council.
yeah,
There's another one I went to was at fall last year.
but these guys didn't finish their training. It's all right, we gotta get it done as soon as possible.
I hope they give us something. Everyone's got their recording on it, just, you know.
Oh, he does?
I believe so, but mine isn't not yet. No, but I don't know if any of them are where it's at, so just so you know. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, dear.
Remind me when we're done with the meeting to show you folks my great grandson and how to eat pizza. How to eat pizza. So got a unique way of eating pizza, doesn't he? You think you should wear it.
Oh, jeez. Love it.
Where are our packets?
You was sitting right on your plate.
I got. Onboard meeting,
Well, I got an extra one because I printed mine out at home.
Oh,
There.
it's your turn.
oh,
You stopped and picked it up.
oh, no,
No, Linda, forgot you. I printed mine out from home, so.
okay.
Okay, I didn't tell me you were here yesterday, so I figured you grabbed.
Oh, no, I was getting something signed for Florida. Okay. All right, let's call a meeting to order. At 7:35. Or 6, close enough. Bob, if you'd like, why don't you come right up here and have a chair? Okay.
Which one?
No. Just,
No, just swear, no. If you come into grievance, then we swear you in. Not here.
No, I don't.
so just give us a brief overview of what you want to do.
We would just like to put a lean-to on the side of the barn. The snow was coming off, and it's wrecked the roof of my son's grave.
Okay.
Um,
I have one quick question though. Are you right on the corner of Holmes and
Yeah.
37?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was your house there, but, okay.
the sign been in it, just like I was told, the sign's in the front yard.
Oh, I didn't see that. No, I'm just trying from Memory.
So,
So we need a,
so you wanna put a 12 foot wide by
Right,
30 feet
the
long?
trailer's almost 9 foot wide, so if I want 10. It's
Yeah, you'd be too narrow.
that's kind of hard backing it in.
especially me. Get too open.
So,
I did take a screen shot
okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
from Encore.
Yep.
And then put some measurements in there.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask, cause I mean, I grew up next to that road. And
Yeah.
Bob's been there a long time too, and trying to figure out where that road is.
On the front corner, you're almost 18 feet to the right of way. And then there's another 20 feet to the road,
Oh, okay,
so. It just, right here is where he's gonna need, I mean, he'll need the variance on the backside too, but you can see the.
so that's a 3 rod road? Is that 20 feet for the?
Well,
center
it's
line?
20 feet from the center, sorry. 20 feet from the center to that yellow line.
That's not just.
What's the yellow line?
The yellow
the
line.
right of way
is the
on the
right
Encore?
of way line.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
So he owns, that property and pays taxes on it, but the right of way line is
Yeah,
considered.
that's what I was wondering if that was a 2 or a 3 rod road, cause rod's every 16 feet. Most town roads are 3.
Is that a town road?
But it's a town road, but it's a
but this
dead
is
end one.
Seasonal road.
Yeah, seasonal, so I don't think it's the 3 rod, I don't think.
Well,
that-
that's how, it's definitely not that far down below. Once you
Right.
get farther down, it's definitely not that wide.
I don't think it
fact,
is, I don't
you can-
even think it is at the
Yeah.
top.
It's not gonna change, so like
No.
I say, I'm pretty sure that's just a 2 rod road
So
because
then it is only 10 feet, it would be 10 feet from the center of the road to the right.
16,
Is it 16?
yeah, rod's 16 feet,
Oh, okay.
so it'd be 16 feet both ways. Cause down below, you can barely, I wouldn't even wanna get 2 cars next to each other,
All right.
yeah, so.
Okay, so is this 37 or homes?
Homes,
It's homes, lower homes,
yeah, lower homes,
lower homes.
Yeah. that's real.
He's on the west side of the road. He's on the west side of the corner of homes and,
This place is
37.
right on the corner, and then my sheep farm is right next to it. My
Okay,
parents' house. would be right
okay,
across
that's
the
what I thought. That's
South,
what I thought.
southwest, yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, when you said, okay, hold, all right, now I, I'm sorry.
street. But if you want to put a 12 foot
Homes
thing in
are
there,
not
then
even
it's like
specified.
5 feet from the right away, or 5 to 10 feet from the right away, somewhere in that range.
Yep.
Cause yeah, the Encore, that's the only problem with that is that's for taxation purposes only.
Yeah,
so.
it's not for measuring.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering how wide that road was. Like I said, there's no way it's 3 rod on the bottom part. There's just no road there. Never has been. Okay. So you need a variance for the side setback on Holmes Road. You wanna go 12
Is
foot wide.
this already too close and short of the 50 foot?
It's 20 feet from the side.
It's only 20-foot side setback.
Okay.
in
No,
that
that's
district.
existing.
This is existing,
Yeah.
so we want to come out,
It'd still be inside the right of way, or short of the right of way.
okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in the right of way, so.
No.
Is that used very much anyways?
The right of way?
No.
No, I didn't. That road, no, I didn't think so. The road itself isn't even used much. It looks pretty big, it looks
Except for
busy
people
down
that are
by
fol-
on Canada Lake Road. I was there the other day,
But
and I couldn't believe how much
Yeah,
ruts and everything are at that end, down by the lake, but I didn't think there was much coming down.
Maybe during the day, and I'm just guessing, 1 or 2 cars, maybe.
Yeah,
Most of the time, there's nothing, a few motorcycles now and then.
nobody's more than everybody as well. I hear on the side of Hunt. My place, the next place over in the daytime,
Mhm.
you hear 4, that's the lot, that's during hunting season. No, you just don't. There's like 2 people must use that road routinely.
Well, I've gone down it a couple times and I try very hard not to have to do that.
Either we live right next to it. That's not a road, it's not fun driving on.
Oh, now that, yeah, coming back. up.
I have some questions about the application itself.
okay,
So when I'm looking at area variance application dated 4/24, I was looking for any additional information, lot drawings about existing and proposed buildings. I got one existing building, but I really didn't get any sense of, I don't know, I thought that too.
That's-
That's the existing building.
that's the proposed, that 12 by 50 is the proposed.
It looked like there was supposed to be two photographs and I wasn't able to find two photographs. And for me, it was like, what am I looking at here?
Right.
Then when I look over, it looks like the justification is for ice and snow damage to the trailer that's parked there.
Yeah.
My first question is, can it be parked someplace else? What is prohibit that? You know, how does this supersede being able to just park it somewhere else?
So don't have a back driveway, it's too steep to get the trailer and go over the back hill to drive down and go over, they get hung up. And the other side, it's just too big. Excuse me, just too down wide.
And then there appears to be a discrepancy in signatures on the dates.
Did I sign something wrong?
Metzler signed for
Oh,
the
yeah.
28th.
I showed him. And I showed Brian and Brian signed because he would be the contract.
Oh,
For the application for the variance.
Right,
You signed it on April 24th.
yes,
Mr. Metzler signed it on March 28th.
okay, you must have made a mistake, no.
So
I didn't-
I just
I didn't
want to
do
make
that.
sure that when we're looking at
We just made,
the
we probably just
application.
made a mistake.
I don't
there's,
have that.
It's on the second page of the application.
maybe on the back.
Oh, on the back?
Yeah.
you know, so for
Just the
me,
date.
I'm just looking at information that should be guiding a decision here and making sure that we have the right information beyond just pictures. So,
Right, the agent signature doesn't, like, his contractor didn't need to sign that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I thought he did, that's why he had him sign it.
Right,
And then-
and that,
so he signed it and then you brought it down?
No,
no, he
he
just,
signed it the same, he stopped up at the house after I got the paperwork from you,
right,
and he just goofed up the.
He was in the wrong month.
yeah, well,
It's probably supposed to be 4/28.
that, and usually the agent just would have represented you. So if
Yeah.
you weren't
That's what I
gonna
was
be
gonna say, you're
here,
here, so that
Yeah.
supersedes whatever they do.
right.
yeah, so that we can NA that, because it's not applicable in this situation.
And then the other was, I've got photographs, I've got plot drawing of projected. I've got a copy of the application that was declined. But for me, I was struggling with, but what is it we're trying to get an area? Why was it not approved?
Cause it's
Oh,
too
so
close
less
to
than
the
20
fat
feet.
line.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I didn't see that anywhere to know
yes.
how to proceed on that part,
Yeah, that's the setback for the rural district is 20
20
feet
feet.
for sidelines, and then for state highways, it's 50, or county side highways, it's 50.
All right, so this is then variance based on citing. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And again, recapping, the reason you're willing to do it on the side that you're looking is because of the accessibility of the other parts.
Okay, I guess I'm being a little dense. So how much of a variance are we looking at? What, how much is it? Yeah,
So he's at. We're guessing. I mean, it's close, but it's not accurate. So 18 feet to the right of way.
okay,
So he's already, you had to have a variance to build the building.
Yes.
So he had a variance to build the building, so he's asking for another 12 feet into that.
okay, so we're looking for a 12-foot variance,
Correct.
okay. Like I said.
Yeah.
Now, this has nothing to do with the fact that he's on a county road
No, because it's the
and
side,
then the side is town road. Yep,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
it's a seasonal time.
Yeah. I think I have I have two of these.
Oh, I got.
Well, one has there's two of them in the
Wait a
packet.
minute,
One
I-
shows the lean-to and one doesn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Trying to give it away.
No,
Right.
Because one is part of the permit application, the other is variance.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Nope.
I move we accept okay.
I don't know that it's a question as much as is there any other options for citing this, anything else that this board can see on the property locating so that it doesn't
If I could get back,
go further to,
if I could get back by the pond,
To the-
it'd be-
right.
I'd put it back there, then I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I can't.
Yeah, this is right off the existing driveway.
and this is not going to impede too far into a public road and the
No,
right of way.
as long as it's not in the right of way, if it was in the right of way, then we would have to go to the county.
Yeah.
For a variance, but it's not.
The trailer has been actually parked in that location all along. He's just looking to
Right.
put a roof
No, I-
over the top of it.
Realize the damage.
Yeah, well, no, it's just not about the
Purpose.
damage. It's just, as far as being close to the road and stuff, it's
already
been
here.
parked there all along. He's just looking to put a roof over the top of it to protect it.
And the roof will then stay when the vehicle moves.
Yes,
Right.
But someday that vehicle may not still need that.
right.
Okay,
I'm not saying it's not going to, it's what it actually is a go-kart. My grandson races go-karts and he still races them, so. I mean, it hasn't moved as much because we've been throwing it in the back of the truck,
mhm,
but yes, it's.
Okay.
It's not for storage, that barn is 40 by 50, so I didn't want enough junk in there from everybody else but me.
How's the, is there a deep ditch right there on that side? Like, how's the water runoff?
Oh, on that side of homes,
Yeah,
the farther you go down, the deeper the ditch gets.
And there is a good sized deep, ditch
Yeah.
because I did run a lawnmower in it and I thought I was gonna die. I slid off the hill.
okay,
That's why I was asking where the ditch was, cause that ditch is, there's a pretty good berm there. When
right.
you go down farther, the berm goes way out. Yeah.
Well, I'm asking for runoff
Yep.
from the roof too, because it's a lot of square footage where the rain's gonna, so, okay.
Yeah.
so
I
this-
can put a gutter on it. I have no problems with putting a gutter on.
No, it'll actually be, it'll be fine, because the runoff will go into the ditch. I was
Okay.
worried about erosion, like,
Well, actually, the runoff there is probably gonna be more downhill than it goes to the
Yeah.
ditch, cause that whole thing goes down like this.
the backside of that property is.
It's downhill.
Yeah,
Always.
it's.
Yeah.
Angles going every way. It goes
And,
back into the
top of my
side.
storm right now, I can't drive my fields.
Right.
Okay. They're wet. Like I said, you get towards the middle of that thing, it's too wet to be screwing around over there.
And if we get the rain they're talking about, the next week,
Oh, yeah, like I said, I haven't.
Heck, I'm above you and we can't take our tractor down in the front
Yeah.
lot yard, cause it'll be
No,
there
where you move-
all year.
Where he was talking about on the other side, that's that turf over there, it stays wet for a long time.
it does. I said to Brian today, because he was out cutting the grass. I said, when I went out to go to the doctors, I said, I walked a long way around so I didn't get wet. And as soon as I got close to the barn, it was splish. And that was only a light rainstorm.
Yeah, no, like I said, my driveway's, other than
Oh, I
my bar
poured
driver, the
last
next
night
one
at my
over is turf and.
We got a lot of rain at my house.
We don't drive tractors there till.
We
May.
got almost a whole inch in less than an hour last
Oh, I
night.
could tell, especially.
Oh,
I had another tree come down in the creek.
yeah, it was.
Now, that's right off the
They had
existing
a
driveway,
snap
that'd be
down in the creek.
good to get
Yeah, I
there.
don't know if I should call
Like I
it.
said, everything goes downhill from that more than towards the
So
road.
It's gonna, it's gonna create
Yeah.
a dam.
My poor husband went down. Our house sits like this and then there's the lawn and then it goes down to the woods to Middle Road. He went down to check out down here. Lost a shoe. He's walking the lawn and it just sucked his shoe right off.
I hurt my hip 2 weeks ago on top.
Oh,
My boots got stuck in the mud, I was carrying a tree stump. No, it's bad right now. up there.
yes,
And you never start down how it goes flat, it's just horrible. So, no, that's like I said, that's where you propose to put that, right off the driveway that's the best place, otherwise. you're
There's,
right
and
up
there's a
here.
lot of gravel in there. They had to put in, I don't know how many truckloads of gravel just to get it built up.
sure.
Any more questions?
I'm done.
I move we accept the application as it stands,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
I,
Now, there's two parts to this, I should have explained this to you before, one was to accept the application or to
Right.
modify the caption, so we accept the application as you put it, then we actually vote on
Okay.
it, okay, on the variance approval or not. So,
you're fine, you don't,
no, you're set.
yeah.
No, I'm just trying to.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
I'm
no.
just trying to get
Gonna
comfy.
up and leave.
Sorry. I usually explain that to people ahead of time,
Chair ain't the best.
Yeah.
Chris.
Whether benefit can be achieved by other means feasible, we've determined probably not. Undesirable change of the neighborhood, no. Request is substantial, I don't believe so. Whether the request is adverse physical environment, no. And could difficulty self-created? I guess they're all self-created, but I really don't look at this one being self-created. It's environmentally created. So I approve the variance.
Tara?
Whether benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to applicant. Appears that not, based on your explanation, the topography. Undesirable change in neighborhood character to nearby properties, not applicable. Whether request is substantial, seems to be reasonable. Whether request will have adverse physical or environmental effects, whatever. Appears not, based on Joe and that's description of near a ditch, but not so close that you're encroaching on it, and willingness to put downspouts and everything that need be. Whether alleged difficulty is self-created, I'd say yes, it is. Based on where the and needing to have had a variance just to build the barn. Right. Based on everything, I would approve the variance. Linda?
Oh. I'm sorry, I thought you were-
I was the last now, remember?
Okay, whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant? No, I think you're doing the best you can with what you've got there to deal with. An undesirable change in the neighborhood character or to nearby properties, not at all. Is a request substantial? Nope. And whether the request will have adverse physical or environmental effects, I really don't think so. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, yes, unfortunately, we all do that to ourselves, but I don't look upon it as a problem. I am in favor of the variance.
Ed?
Whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant, not without an extensive amount of work being done to the area, in which case it would disrupt the absorption of water in the area, if you just put a whole bunch of extra driveway in. Undesirable change to neighborhood character of neighborhood properties, absolutely not. Whether the request is substantial, percent wise it is for the variance. Whether the request adverse physical or environmental effects, no. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, yes, you want to put a little sign to protect your equipment. I also vote for the variance. You'll get a notice.
You're good to go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's usually, 2 weeks. We should know.
I don't know how long she sends out a written, you get a written notice.
So,
So now start working with him.
yep.
Yeah, he can issue the permit.
We can talk about the-
While we're still on the record, I
Yeah.
talked to
'cause-
Linda. on
'cause
the
while-
way in.
while we
I
have
just,
the
I
variance-
just wanted to
after we have
clarify,
variance, now we can reopen.
from our last
Alright.
meeting with the fiasco, that's been going on for 2 years with my
Okay.
neighbor.
But I'll stop tomorrow.
The end result.
Yep.
When the
Perfect.
board was up here talking and, you know, I
Yep.
was
Good to see you.
somewhat trying to remain somewhat muzzled. But the end result was that how it came is that how the variance was approved for a 1%. And it was actually 31% is what the variance was, not 1%. It was 30%, because of the 31, the 30 and the 31 kind of, I think, all got convoluted in the whole thing, only because I seen Sheila a week or so later and I said, where did you come up with that it was only 1% over? And she goes, no, it was 31%. Oh, okay. And then she's seen the minutes. But here nor there, it's done,
Yeah, 'cause
it's over with.
we talked to her weeks before we knew that. when-
Yeah,
depending
well,
on what
the way it
what
got discussed here is that, I remember the conversation was, so we're only approving a 1% variance.
Yeah,
Oh.
cause Jesse had brought it up and then said that Sheila was wrong.
Yeah,
I
and-
believe in the minutes, and that when Sheila read the minutes, she went back through and said.
Oh, that's why she sent that note out afterwards?
Yes,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she called me too to explain it.
And
Oh,
it just,
We knew that, anyway, we talked to her. before.
yeah, but,
Yeah,
you know,
Because
just
the difference was, and did you know if they passed that law? Did we talk to them about?
I don't know yet, I'm
So
waiting
this
to-
all started with,
because of the roadway and the right of way and the.
no,
Oh.
it started because of what they consider to be, coverage. So
Right,
the state law describes coverage and like impermeable gravel. So for example,
impermeable, right.
yeah, so their walkway, the
retaining walls.
retaining wall itself, the gravel they put down that they built the building on,
Right,
all that's counted as
coverage,
coverage. So by the time you put in the driveways and all that kind of stuff, the coverage was higher than when we were just doing the buildings. Because when we were talking to the previous CEO, he gave us the building amounts, right? Now, we
Right.
have no way of calculating out how much a driveway takes up, how much a walkway takes up, what the coverage areas are. So when the code enforcement officer approved it, and we had the discussions earlier, everybody said, man, this looks like there's big more coverage than it is, coverage being thing. And he said, no, they just count the buildings. So when you do the math for the buildings, it's about a 1% change, and it's
Yeah.
right about the max, right? Now, when you cover all the other stuff, which we have absolutely no way to calculate that stuff, here, we don't have this information. It came out a lot higher,
The only way to calculate it is through a
actual survey.
survey
Like,
map.
like the last one he had done, so we talked to Joe, Sheila, and me and supervisor, talked about the fact, because she was going, oh, it's state law, I said, Sheila, when somebody brings an application in, they don't have a state law book next to them describing that stuff. Our codes need to describe the same thing if that's the state law. They need to refer to the state law, so the code enforcement officer can get the book out and say, yes, this is what they mean by it. We have to have our terms defined. And when they first were working on zoning back in the 90s, I warned the people that are writing the thing to make sure if they use a term, they define it someplace in there, clearly defined it. We had an issue, Linda remembers this one, where we went back and forth with some guy in the lake over building on a right of way or too close to a right of way. And we found two parts to our law, they're ambiguous. One said one thing, one said another. And in the middle of that whole thing, they didn't call right of way or there's another term for right of way, easement.
Easements,
They called something a thoroughfare. They didn't use the terms the
Right.
same. So there was, you could tell one was the old section, then when they rewrote the law, they had a new section, but they never got rid of the old section. So they said two different things. We have to find in the favor of the landowner when our laws are ambiguous. That's one of the things they teach us. So we ended up having to grant this thing to the guy. We turned it down multiple times, and to the letter of the law or intent of the law, he was wrong, but because they wrote two different things and didn't get rid of the other one, we were stuck with it. There's nothing we could do about that.
Sheila did give me information and found out that it did pass and it is law, that
Okay,
in that email.
all right,
And
good.
going forward, she wants us to base our coverage on that law.
Oh, no, I'm sure. And so we talked to, the new supervisor. Cause he didn't know how to get this. And I said, you have a town board meeting, you pass a resolution and then it's law. So,
No, not quite, but okay.
yeah,
This doesn't quite go that quickly to make it a law.
yeah, but I mean, they have public hearings just or whatever, but still, that's basically what it amounts to. And she said, well, how do I work? It says, you can't just say survey. I got a bunch of surveys that all they show is lot lines.
Yeah.
You need to have a survey that, just
Shows
like they
everything.
had run, yeah. And like my one in Florida tells every distance for every corner of every building and everything like that. You have to have that kind of thing, and it has to have the calculation. There's whatever the term of that is, that's what we need to put in so that it doesn't just show up in the site plan review. So it shows up in the application for the CEO to start with, so he can,
Right, because if it's under 800 square feet,
It doesn't go to site plan.
it doesn't
review.
go to, correct.
Right.
And then when I do the figuring, my figurings aren't precise.
No.
And down on the lake, it has to be precise.
Well, and the other thing is too, is when it comes to state law, towns can make their town laws more restrictive. They
Right.
cannot make them less restrictive than whatever the state
Correct.
law is.
Right.
Right.
so we want to get it, but the description of coverage was
Yeah,
what we
but they
need.
gotta get the definitions in line,
Right.
correct.
So if you
And
have,
we've done over the years, there's been a number of times we found things and had to correct
yeah,
definitions.
I mean, the people that did the best they could,
Yeah.
we had no zoning at all, and through these case, you find, you can't write a law for everything.
No,
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
In fact, I told her another thing that's in there, I know it's in there in one section where planning board has in there that nobody can overturn their rulings, and that's wrong, because that's why we're here.
that's why there's an Article 78.
Well, yeah, that too, but they said no local ones could,
Oh,
and
For a
anything to do
planning
with
board?
zoning is us.
yeah, well, it basically, a zoning board can review any decision made by any other
Yep.
official in the town.
But
Any other decision
actually,
made.
in our statute, it says the
Planning board, it can't be
yeah,
overruled.
and I go, that's, and she looks like, yeah, so I said, there's two things we know about. The one with the survey description.
Yeah.
And detail. And I said, I don't care if you say it's just for the lake neighborhood. Or you wanna say it for any parcel in town that's, I don't know, under 2 acres or something, because you got the same situation on the little pre-existing non-conforming lots all over town. I mean,
Right.
there's that section down 37 near the end there where they got, I don't know, it was like 7 properties down there. Little sunshine, something, sunset,
Oh.
whatever it is down there.
Yes.
There's places like that in town, and there's Bald Hill Road, we've had a bunch of them where they come in, there's little lots along Old Bald Hill Road
Yeah.
in Canada, or 15A. So I don't know what they actually ended up deciding, if they just said the lake or not, but you get a survey like his last one was, it's black and white,
I also spoke.
and
with
he
Sheila.
would know before the permit ever gets issued.
Well, like I say, I just, to clarify that thing, that went on, it's all been, the top is off, it's gone, it looks like a normal garage now. It's done, it's over, and my thought was, had we been looked at it then and stuck on the fact that it was a 30% variance,
Oh, yeah,
it might have, not knowing how anybody would feel about it, might have been turned down, which means that
I
it would
would
have
have
said,
voted for it.
exactly, and then we could have gone on farther with this guy for another couple of years. It's done, it's over with.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
my position was actually, I talked about this before, I said, look, it's not just a matter of taking the building down. He's gotta remove all that gravel, the whole pad.
The whole pad
counts.
would have to go.
And the fill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, yeah, well, the pad, you could fill it with dirt, but you'd have to take the whole pad off.
Well, the thing,
gravel part would be fine.
it's
And
now,
that never would have happened if the CEO had stopped it
Somebody's-
like he should have.
yeah. Well,
You know,
and
never
it's-
mind the second story, we already
Right.
won in court about the second story,
Right,
it's the whole thing in itself.
Yeah.
What was missed.
and, it's reasonable now. It looks, blends in with the neighborhood and it's reasonable and it's done. Christie is still a little upset that it still is, a little bit taller than what she would have liked, but, I think
I think she's settling in a little bit. And I told her, you know, when I had the discussion with Sheila, you know, I said Christie could have filed an Article 78 on
Oh,
that
yeah, no, we-
decision. And I kept telling Christie, first off, wait till you see what it looks like. And second of all, what it is right now is exactly when we came here the very first and second time,
We
what
thought
we,
we going up.
well, what we requested.
Yeah.
As,
Oh, yeah,
as
no,
far as our appeal was what we requested.
I told them
said, if
exactly
you-
what to do before they ever went to court.
I said, and if you go to, if you file Christie file an Article 78, and then they bring all those records in, and the judge looks at it and says, way back in March of 2021, this is exactly what you wanted, you know, you would probably lose, and it would just be more attorney's fees for all of us and everything else and more grief, so. But it's done, but yeah, that whole coverage thing, and especially down in the Lakeshore District, we gotta be
Yeah, see,
careful.
that's one thing I
It's
have,
so
I have
tight.
kind of a contention with
Yeah,
because
it's so tight.
how much runoff you have down the lake, and this is why I feel the way I do. The biggest problem they have down there is no place for the water to go. So the more you build on those lots, the less room there is for the water to soak in any ground. It's green space, would be one way to put it. I mean, I just got in a conversation again last week with somebody who was talking about the end of the lake and what they did down there, and it's like, you know, the DEC really still hasn't gotten on the ball yet, because they wanted to fix the end of Honey Isle Lake, they should put a dam in that creek. And if they want to put it right where the college campus is down there, that'd be a good place to put it, and then the water would find its natural way into the lake. But they're not gonna dam up that creek next to the college thing, so they built all the retaining ponds to take the extra water. That's not the problem. The problem is there's free flow to the lake all the way from Naples. Because that canal he put in, the Mueller put in. You know, eventually they found he was, you know, violation of all sorts of stuff, the logging and everything else he did down there. I mean, that's why the state ended up with the land. But to really fix the problem, you need to turn it back into a swamp.
Yeah.
But everything else around the lake, as they keep putting bigger and bigger houses in, it's just worse. The water hits faster. It's bad enough coming off these hills. You know, you got 800-foot drop at this end of town down there.
Well, the other thing with him too is just, you know, there's no place for him to park. There's no
Yeah.
place for parking for him, except for in everybody else's yard.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay,
But and so that's, you
moving.
know, that's that, like you said. I wouldn't approve that big a variance down there just because they already have problems with runoff down there.
Yeah.
We had somebody come in, Viper came in, and he was gonna put gutters into the existing drain that went into the lake. Just to control where the water was going. We had a guy a couple years ago wanted to build a garage right on the neighbor line. All his water would have gone to his neighbor's property.
yeah,
You know, he
Yeah.
was like, oh, no, and I said, oh, yeah, that's where it's going, because you can't build a straight up gravel wall. You have to
No.
have an angle to it, and that's gonna put you right at your neighbor's line. So you can't be putting water on other people's property.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
That's a
Even
huge
in the,
problem.
even in the rural district, and the county is at fault too in some scenarios, and our town. But
Yeah, but if you have a detailed enough survey, and they can do them, that was beautiful, the one that we've got done.
yes,
It's got all that covered, the calculations are all done, there can't be any miscalculations, nothing, they done with surveyor's equipment. Now, but the other thing that they did prove was our inventory is correct. Cause that came as a question, and I checked that with the surveyor, and all the numbers matched. The lot size was correct for the county records, the only difference was the survey went to 3 decimal places, the county went to 2. So, the CEO had the correct information in front of us. To start with. And
Oh, yeah.
just-
I
just-
I questioned it before I even went out of office in November when they started doing stuff, and
Well, he said right in one of the letters, says, oh, that's in compliance with that.
Yeah,
He got back wrong.
I knew it was wrong,
Yeah.
but he told me, and I was
Like,
like, "Oh,
you
okay,
looked
fine."
at, you looked at the air for you, go, man, it seems like that's a lot more than 30%. And, you know, it was like 39 or something percent, whatever it was, so it's, you know, it was
Yeah.
30 was the 0 point, to your point. You know, but 9 wasn't just 9% or 1%, it was
Was
9 over 30.
Mr. Ellman going to show up?
No, he said
Oh.
he had a previous engagement, so let's get,
He's doing a speaking.
All right.
down at the-
yeah,
Can
so
I-
let's,
Can I make a
Let's
motion to
go-
go in an executive session to discuss, do we
Oh.
want to discuss this?
let's go over the minutes first.
Oh,
We're still
okay.
in- Still in
Alright.
meeting, so, yeah. Yep, I wasn't here, so it's up to you guys, cause I was.
You don't have to go into a section.
To discuss
Yeah,
personal thing we
personnel
should,
issues.
yes.
Yeah, you had a question about why we'd go into executive session, we're gonna discuss, if you discuss personnel issues,
you can't.
like, Yeah, we
You can, but it's not,
Can, but
you
it's
don't have to.
required.
You don't
It's
have
not
to.
required, but,
Right.
but
You should.
we should, yeah.
When you're talking about somebody's personal
And the other
information
thing
and
is,
stuff,
if we
you
were
should.
actually in the middle of an interview with someone, we need to be able to ask questions without somebody misinterpreting it, or they need to be able to answer them without fear of anything. Sometimes
Right.
later it goes, oh, you said on this question here, you would do that, and then you have a ruling that's inconsistent. That's what keeps lawyers employed. And like Chris says, I had supervisor, experiences, so as Chris, when you're talking about personnel stuff, especially a possible town employee, you can go to executive session for that.
In
And that's just a smart thing to
You
do.
really should.
Yeah, because it's the same as you have a meeting at work with your boss, you close the door,
Right.
but you got to do minutes first.
I wasn't well, I participated in the end of the meeting. I read. If we have executive session, we shut that up? Yes.
Yes.
Well,
I
you still have to.
We still got to do the minutes.
still
so
gotta
someone
approve
gotta
the
make
minutes
sure.
from the last meeting.
Yes, but just finish up what we.
Okay. I just saw this in the minutes. And we're talking 31% for that last one. It's in here as 31%. But what you ended up approved at the end was 1%.
Mhm. There was discussion.
There was discussion back and forth, and by the time you got to the end, it said, so the variance is for 1%. And that's, okay, yep.
And I was here, so.
Well, it got
Brain
very,
isn't working all that.
no, well, all those meetings over
Okay,
there,
well,
whole
that, I
thing
just
was.
happened to, turn the page, and oh, there it is, we're talking.
So while we're on it, does everybody understand that, so the max you can have is 30%? And I forget what the number was, it was like 38 or 39?
It was 39.39.
Okay, so it's the 9 over the 30 to get your percent, not the 9/30 minus the 9. So it's the 9 over the 30. Just
Correct.
like, yeah, so that's why the variance is 30 something percent or about that.
And that is clear, that 30 is clear in the book.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it said to cover that, and it just what the description of coverage was.
Okay.
would be better.
Well, anything that we can do to get things more explicit. I'm for. No, not just for one section of the town, but I mean, for the whole town. I didn't I did participate in the first part of the meeting. I was over there, but the second part I was over here.
I just want to make sure everybody understood, what you're
Yeah.
talking about, where the math came in at, because she's,
It was,
we had a discussion afterwards, she said, you assumed. Well, tell me, so. I told you not to have that meeting till the next month when I was back, but I told her right to her face.
okay, I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I move that the public hearing be closed.
I'll second it. Move into executive session.
Oh, we gotta close the meeting first.
Yeah,
All in favor?
okay. Aye.
Okay, so I move we have move to executive session to discuss the applicant.
Now, I don't have anything about that. We got it.